with 5K? Yes, you can get started with 5K. It's a reality. Now, think about this in terms of Monopoly. And Miguel's my guy, y'all. Miguel got all the money. So if you need a loan, Miguel is the lender. But, no, Miguel, let me not put him out there. Miguel, we're getting inboxes all over the place. What would you say your biggest opposition problem in doing real estate or starting specifically? Let me come back to that. So can I get started with 5K? Think of it in terms of Monopoly, guys. Credit line, right? Oh, man, thank you, God, for Vincent, man. But can I get started with 5K? Yes, you can, but think in terms of Monopoly. You remember the game? You buy 4 small houses. One. Hey, stop with the questions just a second so that I could answer these ones. So don't post any more questions just yet. Wait just a second. Let these ones that sit here. 5K. So if I got 5K, guys. What am I expecting? I'm expecting a beat-up house in a rundown neighborhood. I bought those. I bought those to get started. So don't get it twisted. I would get a beat-up house for $5,000, right? If that's all I can do. My motto is do what you can where you are with what you have. And just like Monopoly teaches us when we're kids, you scale up later, okay? So I scale up later once I get in a situation where I can sell out that house that I bought for $5,000. Right? It's rented out, it's making me money, and then move on to something greater later, right? But Vincent made a great point. Vincent did some investing, made some good returns on the money, right? But we think of credit, we use our credit cards in terms of to buy liabilities. If you, let me say this, I'm not a financial advisor. This is based upon my own personal experience. Seek financial advice. Bam, that disclaimer is out there. But what I did was, this is me. You may not like this advice. This is Vincent. We take credit cards when we didn't have it, right? And instead of buying liabilities like those credit card companies want you to do so that you can stay in debt forever, we took the cash advances off and bought assets. Why? Because in Memphis, I can buy assets with the amount of cash advances they give me on a credit card. Wow. So your money is sometimes coming to you in your mailbox that you're ripping up and throwing it away. You may not like that advice. You may hate that advice. But once again, my thing is, hey, something is coming to you in terms of, and also $5,000 down can be a down payment. It doesn't necessarily have to buy the whole house. It could be a down payment to get you in the game. Do what you can where you are with what you have. Right? And we do that all the time. We do that to buy assets, to build cash flow. So if I use a credit line and $5,000 and they're charging me $150 a month for that $5,000, then I'm renting that house out for $800 a month, right? And I'm paying them they $150. They happy, I'm happy. I can eventually pay off that credit card. Boom. Next question. What are your thoughts on working with real estate management companies with rental properties that you purchase? I love real estate management companies. Why? Because I love my time. I don't take phone calls. That's one thing you're going to learn about me when you work with me. I don't take phone calls. One of the things and keys to time management is to put the right people in place. So to take the phone calls that you don't want to answer, to take the phone calls that you don't have time to answer so that you can focus on other things to continue to build your business. So me taking phone calls is like working in my business. I love working on my business. That's a big difference. I don't want to hear about, and here's the thing, in real estate, toilets are going to bust, pipes are going to burst, it's cold outside, things are going to happen. So I don't want those phone calls. I got a property management company in place that does those things, guys, and from there, they take care of it. The cash flow covers it most of the time. If it doesn't, hey, if I'm out of, $2,000 in a year for one property, and I got X amount of properties, 50 properties or so, that's covered. So I believe in property management companies, but to each his own. I enjoy my time freedom, and so that's the reason why. What would you say your biggest opposition problem in doing real estate, this is Diamond, in doing real estate or starting specifically? My biggest opposition was or is, it always changes. The only thing constant is change. There's always a new problem. The thing that I look at, let me answer that in this way. The thing that I do, Diamond, is I look at problems and almost look for problems. Problems have the seed of opportunity to grow into, when they come to you. So they're wrapped and disguised in the physical world as something that you want to run away from or get scared of. But when you operate in the spiritual world, in the spiritual world, you tend to see that this problem was presented to you because you asked God for growth. And so he doesn't send to you something that will make you comfortable. I don't want to go into a sermon here and preach, but I'm a Christian. But he doesn't send to you something that will continue to make you comfortable. He sends to you something that's going to make you uncomfortable, because with pain, you start to move. If I'm laying in bed and I'm comfortable in that spot, that warm spot, guess what? I ain't going to move. But if my side start hurting, right? If my butt started hurting because I've been laying on it too long, what am I going to do? I'm going to turn and move over, right? So that's the same thing in life with your opportunities. Your opportunities come to you presented in problems. So the thing is, when the problem presents itself, rise to a higher plane and focus on the solution. So one of my biggest problems, I really don't remember, but I can give you the solutions, which I'm giving on this webinar here, of how I handled those problems, which I just kind of presented to you today. One problem was, man, I got these bills coming in, and I'm talking about, I want to work for myself. How am I going to do that? So my solution was focus on buying my income instead of working for it. So credit line, okay, let's go, join. 5K is a down payment for an owner finance. Yeah, in other cities, 5K in Memphis can buy you a house here. And areas where you can rent out houses for $300, $400, $500 a month, or rent it out as a rooming house. Use equity in current rental properties. So let's just say if you're a person that owns rental properties, right? Pull out the equity in them properties if you want to grow and move forward. It's a possibility. It may not be your strategy, but these are things that you have. You drive up to your money every day if you own your house and you got equity in it. Pull it out, right? What are your thoughts on cashing in 401k to purchase passive income? Once again, let me say this. I'm not a financial advisor. I think I talked about the 401k, but I took my mom off her job about 10 years ago or so. And my personal experience, not a financial advisor, took my mom off her job about 10 years ago. She pulled out her 401k, started buying properties, right? So my thing is, and the example that I gave a really good example about 401k. If you continue to invest in your 401k and you're looking at it as a retirement plan, I advise you to do the numbers. I plead with you to do the numbers on what you'll be making or being able to live off of in 30 years with considering inflation, et cetera. So, me personally, I don't want to tell you this because I feel like people are taking this information and will actually go do it. But get the money that you can get your hands on and go buy some rental properties in Memphis, period. All right, so join 100, thanks. I would like to get started, but finances are strapped and taking care of my wife who recovered from a stroke. Okay, Romeo, so you like to get started, take care of your wife. What I'm going to ask you to do is when you pray, at night, pray. I know it was Jesus that said this. He said, whatsoever you desire when you pray, believe you have received it. So what I'm going to ask you to do is before you go tonight and close your eyes and shut down your conscious brain, I'm going to ask you to see the life that you want. That's the first thing I want to tell you to do, and recite that scripture that Jesus said, whatsoever you desire when you pray, believe. So this is the thing. Prayer is not asking, it's not begging, it's stating what is. So when you state what is, and you mentally see what is, you're believing at that moment that you have it. And the only real time there really is the moment that you're believing it. So your brain is designed, your subconscious brain is designed to where it doesn't know the difference in what's you're seeing through this physical eye or what you're closing your eyes and seeing. They're saying Olympic athletes, they did a test on them at one time, and they told them to close their eyes and visualize them running the event. The same muscles fired in their bodies that it took for them to run the actual race. What am I saying to you? That if you physically believe or mentally see what it is that you want over and over and over again, you develop the faith. You may not have it right now, but if you mentally continue to put that in your brain, you develop a belief. And once you believe it, that situation will change, man. So see what it is that you want. That's my first advice to you. There's no outside thing that I can tell you to do to go find some money, to go find some finances. Once you have it in here, and once you develop that belief system in here, everything in your world will change. God has given us that amazing power to create the world that we want to when we believe and apply the principles that he taught in Scripture. So what are your thoughts on refinancing to use to buy more passive income? I believe in that. Now, the great thing in Memphis is you don't have to refinance all your properties. You can refinance a few of them, generate some passive income. Remember, do what's good for you. You know, some people want to make $100,000 a month. Some people want to make $1 million a month. Some people are cool with making $5,000 a month passive income. So don't overexert yourself. You know, remember, credit and debt it's kind of like a loaded gun. You know, you got to use it the right way. So, you know, you may not do all your properties, but hey, if you want to grow, you want to get started, you know, my advice is to use it. It's there to use, but use it wisely. Remember what I taught in the last video is to put money out there. Money is meant to circulate. That money that's available on your credit card is wanting to circulate. Put that money into things that's going to buy you more income and make that money come back to you when you put it out there. That's the key to it. Preach, Vincent. No, you to preach it. So, Jordan, that's it. That's good stuff. That's it. Any more questions? Okay, how long have you been investing in real estate? I've been investing in real estate since 2005. Todd Sherman, one of my best buds, brother from another mother. We went to school together. I was able to build up some solid income from a network marketing company, believe it or not. When I was 21, made a nice chunk of change, and from scratch was one of the top 5 money earners in that company when I was 21, man. It was amazing, but more importantly, I learned so much from the people and the mentors that I was put in place. But from there, I didn't want to spend out my money on foolish things. I wanted to build a solid income, you know, and grow my money. So it was said that Oprah made her money from broadcasting. She made her money from something different, but she holds on to her wealth in real estate. So when I read that and I understood that, I said, man, I need to get involved in real estate. And so I started buying. So I went out, I met with Taj. So I would every day, I would go to a movie and watch a movie, and I ran into an old friend, and he put me back in contact with Taj. And I told him I wanted to buy some houses. We went, at the time, the internet wasn't what it is today, so I couldn't look at it really online, et cetera. So we went out looking at some houses. I said, let's do it. And we did it. And the rest is history. I was nervous. I was very nervous. But once again, understanding the problem, understanding what it is that I wanted to do, seeing it as an opportunity. I'm one of those people, man, hey, screw it, just do it. You know, that's a good motto. So how do you use the equity out of your property? Go to your bank, go to your lenders, go to a private money lenders. I have tons of them that would love to lend you money on property that you own free and clear. That are decent investments, of course, but it really just depends on the bank and the companies that you use. Self-directed IRA and buy real estate. Yes. I don't really know that strategy as much, but that's a huge strategy that's being used. Self-directed IRA. How many of you have a self-directed IRA? You can use that and buy assets. And it's a lot that goes into that, guys, that you can really benefit from and use that to start your real estate investor career and buy you some passive income. What up, Marquise? Marquise the man. Miguel said, preach. Mustard seed. Faith the size of a mustard seed can do what? Move mountains. To take that in from a psychological standpoint, he could have been talking about moving Mount Rushmore, but I really believe that he was talking about moving the mountain of the problem that you have. So developing faith, once again, is seeing it where you want to be, Romeo. And every night, first you got to write it down, Romeo. Write that sucker down. Write that vision down. Make it plain. Habakkuk verse 2:2. Write that vision down and make it plain. Everything that I want or have ever wanted, it started with me bringing it from the spiritual, which is thought, and writing it down to make it physical. That's the first thing. Once you bring it from the spiritual and write it down, you make it physical. That's the proof that whatever it is that you're asking for can happen. Amen. Preach. I have a deal I'm working on. Call me later. I want to share. I'm not calling you, Vincent. No, I'm just kidding. All right, brother, I'll call you. Join, Dan Butler. Join. What up, Dan? Crash Court Management, baby. Property manager. Look, right now, in my opinion, one of the best property management companies in the city is Crestcore. You go to crestcore.com. Great guy. They have an operation. He actually invited me over to see his operation. And the behind the scenes, like I said, I do a lot of management through a little property management company. And those guys over there, they have the operation that, oh my God, is mega. So if you do buy properties, and you need property management company, we're going to refer you to companies like Crestcore, guys. So Dan is amazing. He's the owner, and I'm sure he wouldn't mind you reaching out to him. Love him. Leslie Ray, love you too. Do you look to buy for yourself, or are you looking for properties for cash buyers? Both. At this point, remember what I do is, here's my thing. The properties that you see on my site are properties that I have not gotten around to rehabbing yet to keep for myself. So if I'm in the project, I try to keep at least, 5 to 10 houses being rehabbed at all times. So when I put them on my site, I believe enough in them to buy them myself. And so what that's saying is, if I don't get around to buying them myself and closing on that deal myself, then, if somebody has the knowledge and the wisdom to buy those properties, then I sell them to them. If they don't buy them by the time I get done rehabbing what I'm done, I'm buying them and keeping them in my portfolio. Okay? Can you do a day in the life at some point? A day in the life of who, Leslie? A day in the life of who? Let me know that. Monica, Habakkuk verse 2 and 2. Monique, no, that's Danica. Danica, what you doing on here? Brother, you're hitting knowledge on so many levels right now. It's insane. I appreciate that, man. I agree, Anthony. Guys, so any other questions that I can ask? I got 13 more minutes. If you ask me, I'll answer them as many as I can. This is what I love doing. I love, giving. Oh, day in the life of me? Okay, you want me to talk about it right now? Or you saying, can I do a live video? This is what I'm doing right now. You'll probably be like, you don't do nothing. Man, I love your energy, Whitney. I love yours too. Thank you for being on. Let's JV in Nashville. I got deals. I love the JV in Nashville. If anybody's in Atlanta, I'm going to be going to where I got Rita down there in Atlanta. But we'll be doing deals in Atlanta here pretty soon, guys. Probably in the next couple months. A day in the life, I would do a day in the life. Let's see. So me, I wake up. What I do is in the morning, where do I get a assignment contract for wholesale? I can send you one of those, bro. Chris Coulter, just inbox me your email. I wake up in the morning. When I wake up, I'm still kind of half asleep, and I have this audio that I recorded of myself speaking from my future, and but speaking while I'm in it. So I'm speaking from the place I want to be. I'm not speaking to the place I want to be. I'm speaking from it. So what that means is, if I want to, let's say if I wanted a beach home, and I was like, okay, man, I'm sitting here, me and my wife, I'm laying here with no, nothing on, me and my wife, and I'm looking out, I'm experiencing and taking on the tones of reality. And I'm speaking from that place. What does that do? What did that just do to you? That just gave you an ugly image of me with nothing on, right? I did that to go drastic so that you can see what I'm doing. I do that. And so when I do that, it's about 3, 4, 5 minutes long. I play it over and over and over again for probably about 5, 6, 7 minutes. And then I get up. So what that does for me is it creates and it magnetizes to me, and it brings the belief level that Jesus talked about to me, so that I can know what my day is supposed to be walking towards. Every step that I make is walking towards that end result. Where PPC SEO, I'll go over PPC, which is another beast in SEO. That's a form of marketing, which is a big part of business. Knowing how to market your business or any business, you can make tons of money at anything. So for Sean, what up for Sean? Anything else, guys? Anything else? We got 11 minutes. I'll answer what I can if you got anything. But I'll go back to the rest of my day. So once I do that, I do my best to get a little 30-minute workout in, etc. And may not look like it, right? But then I do a NutriBullet. My breakfast is NutriBullet most days, right? I say about 5 days out of the week I do a NutriBullet. And I ain't gonna tell you about the piece I eat at the end of the day. And so I do a NutriBullet. Why do I do a NutriBullet? This sounds crazy, but I drink 34 ounces of water when I have by my bed, and I wake up and I drink 34 ounces of water, and then I do my NutriBullet. And what that does is, that's like coffee to me, because you may say, man, he's so energetic. I'm energetic because, I'm high off life. I love living. But more importantly, I love God. I love having another opportunity at the day. So it's like I'm waking up like I'm here again, let's rock and roll, baby. So I do that. And once I do that, it's like coffee for most people, but it's like nutrients, and so it gives me that energy and spark that I need. I know that when I eat meat or something like that in the morning, or something that is off away from the NutriBullet, I get sleepy and sluggish, and I love being productive. That's one reason why the weed thing, I'm not knocking anybody who does it, but that's not really one of my things, because I lost motivation to, to be productive when I did. You get what I'm saying? When I tried it or whatever, and I'm like, I don't like this feeling, right? So I tried it one time in Jamaica, right? So it was legal over there, right? But I tried it one time in Jamaica about 3 years ago, and I was like, I don't like not feeling productive. So every single salesperson has a morning ritual. Yeah, how do you stay organized? How do you simplify the business? Outsourcing the answer. I got one of my best buds, man, like my brother Aaron. He said he was gonna write a book about me. This was so funny because he said, you're one of the most, he said, I probably don't look like I'm organized, but he said, you're one of the most disciplined, and this is coming from his point of view, and I'm taking this. He said, you're one of the most disciplined, organized people that I've ever watched and met. And this is from him seeing it on a daily basis. But I'm very systematic. I believe in building systems. So the way you stay organized is, understanding that success follows order. And if the more organized you are in what it is that you have to do, and that starts from having a definite plan of action in place, what you do is you're able to know what it is that you're supposed to be going towards. So once you have a definite plan of action in place, the ideas that come to manifest that comes in order. So what you have a task list, and the best way to do is just kind of check off that task list. Okay, today, my thing is I don't base it off of the production. Getting the fruits of the labor, the money, or whatever it is what's expected if I plant a seed. If I'm a farmer, right? If I'm a farmer and I got a farm and I want to go out and I want to plant seeds, I'm not going to see vegetables grow up right then, right? But I know that my activity of sifting and throwing out those seeds, I'm expecting a harvest. So that means that, my plan was to plant my seeds, cultivate my seeds, water my seeds so that I can expect a harvest. So, I'm going out every day expecting a harvest from my activity. You get what I'm saying? So, and I think a big part of it is any farmer, that he's not going out throwing them seeds out for nothing so that he won't have a harvest. I'm expecting a harvest. So my day is walking towards, if I want to make $100,000 in a month, if I want to make $500,000 a month, my daily activity needs to be $500,000 a month activity. You get what I'm saying? So we get what we expect. If I'm expecting $3,000 a month, then my activity is you get out of life. Your rewards in life are directly proportional to the value that you bring to the marketplace. Whatever the value that you bring to the marketplace is what you're going to get in return. So if you're not getting the value that you feel like you really truly want or desire, or if you're not getting the reward, the financial reward of what you really truly desire, then you need to bring more value. My thing is, what products? So I'm not going to focus my day on, making $3,000 if I know that $3,300 a day times 30 days is $99,000 a month or whatever the case may be, and I want to make $1 million a month, right? I'm not going to focus on making $3,000 a day. What am I going to do? That means my daily activity needs to make $33,000 a day. And I'm using that as a big number. Let's break it down. If I want to make $10,000 a month, that means all I need to do is make $333 a day. Any one of us can apply ourselves and go make $333 a day times 30 days and make $10,000 a month. Your daily activity, man, what's the value that you bring into the marketplace? So knowing what it is, how do you stay in order, etc.? How do you stay organized? Knowing what it is that you're trying to accomplish. So if me taking a phone call and talking to someone who's throwing me off of my specific goal, that's taking me away from what it is that I need to be doing today to generate the money that I'm desiring. So is that phone call going to make me $33,000? You get what I'm saying? Is that phone call helping me make $33,000? If it's not helping me make $33,000 then I'm going to delegate that phone call to be taken by somebody else. It may generate $33,000 eventually, but if it's not helping me do that today, I'm not taking that call. You get what I'm saying? So my activity is I focus on massive production, massive action, massive activity that I know I'm expecting an amazing harvest. I was supposed to be on here for 10 minutes, guys. Anything else? I can talk on and on about this, y'all. Anything else, guys? If there's no other, if there's no other questions, I'm gonna adjourn. I'm gonna dismiss it like how the pastors, like Pastor Vincent, dismisses the church. If there's no other questions, I'll rise. All right, guys. So if there's no other questions, guys, I really appreciate all of you tuning in. I'm gonna take your calls, babe. I take my wife's calls. I take all my wife's calls. Take all your calls, man. Every time you call, I could be in a meeting. I was in a meeting with Dan. Dan, I was in a meeting with you the other day, and my wife called, and I answered, didn't I? And so I'm going to take my wife's calls. And if Mama on here, I take your calls too, Mama. Daddy, I take your calls too. All right. Appreciate you, but appreciate all you guys too, man. That's it, guys. That's rock and roll, and see you on the next one. We'll try to do one of these every now and again, guys. Just kind of let me know what questions you have, and we'll walk from there, man. All right, guys, have an amazing, wonderful day. And if you're in Memphis, enjoy your snow day, your blizzard outside, right? All right, guys.